What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I have been putting this video off for so long. Not that I didn't want to share it, but just like life happens with a newborn. I could not find the time to just like sit down and record this for so long, and I'm sick right now. So yeah, I was just like, I have to do it. Like if I don't do it today, I'm just like never gonna get this done. So sorry you're gonna have to listen to my sick voice throughout this video. But yeah, I am ready and I'm so happy to be sharing my birth story. Well, not like my birth story, but like my son, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So let's just hop right in. Alright, you guys, so it is Tuesday, November 5th. I wake up, I go to the doctor, and I'm like, what's up, doctor? How am I doing? I think I was like 38 weeks and 5 days pregnant, and my doctor checked me, and I think I was at a 2 or 3 centimeters dilated. I was kind of like, oh my gosh, like things are happening, and I asked like, is baby head down? Baby was head down, so I was like, okay, like things are moving along. No way did I think I would actually like give birth within 24 hours, but I was like, woohoo, like everything's okay, you know, baby will come when baby is ready, and I was just kind of like chilling. Now, after my doctor's appointment, I did have some cramps, and I think that's because my doctor swept my membranes, and I even like posted on Instagram. I was like talking on my story, I was like, hey, I came home from the doctor, my doctor swept my membranes, and I'm kind of having some cramps. I don't know if it's labor, and everybody's like, no, it's not labor, you're just like having cramps after you get your membrane swept, like it's totally normal. And I was like, okay, cool. Got home from the doctor at like 10, and I was like, okay, if my cramps don't stop at noon, I'm gonna like do a little bit more research, see what's going on. But they actually did stop right at noon, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna like look any further into this, like I'm not in labor, my cramps wouldn't have stopped. Now fast forward to about 6 p.m. Darian had left to go to the gym, and I was just at home watching TV, and I like got this really bad cramp. It hurt so bad, I like almost couldn't breathe. I was like, oh my gosh, like what is this? I was like, what's happening? And I was like so uncomfortable. I was like, what was that? I texted Darian and I was like, dude, I just had like the weirdest thing, like I had a cramp and I couldn't breathe. And he's like, oh my gosh, like whoa. So Darian comes home, it's like 7:30. So we started like using the app I'll show you to like count my contractions and everything. It's literally called Contractions, so you can time all of your contractions and everything. So Darian was like, okay, go ahead, like start timing them and we'll see like what's going on. The app said, hey, like go to the hospital, your contractions are close enough or whatever that you need to go to the hospital. And I was like, what the heck? I was like, no, this app is stupid. I literally was like, no. I turned it off. I was like, Darian, that doesn't know what it's talking about. Like, I'm not in labor. This is ridiculous. Like, I'm a good week and a half early to my due date. So I was like, no, like, this isn't happening. Like, this can't be happening. We were literally getting ready to leave for the airport, and Darian was like, Britt, I think we should pack our hospital bags, like, just in case. And I knew in the back of my mind, I, like, knew this was happening. I just didn't want to accept it. So I, like, completely fell apart. I completely was, like, crying my eyes out. I was like, I'm not ready. Like, I don't want this to be happening. I'm so stressed about like picking up my mom from the airport. Like, I had all of these things planned. I was even gonna like pump out Vlogmas videos. Like, I had so much planned. I was not ready for this baby to come early, you guys. I totally just like sat on the floor right over there and I was like sobbing my eyes out, and Darian totally had to like console me and be like, oh my gosh, it's okay. And he was like, oh, we don't really know if it's labor, but like both of us knew. I was just in extreme denial. I just like at least wanted to go pick up my mom from the airport. So whatever. Frantically, Darian and I are just packing a hospital bag. Literally, I don't even know what was in the bag. I think I packed like a pajama top and my toothbrush and toothpaste. That's all I packed, you guys. I think I might have packed deodorant, but that's literally it. I didn't pack like clothes. Oh, I did pack a robe, but like I didn't pack anything. Literally, I had nothing planned, nothing prepped. I think I had like one of Vincent's like outfits, but then I only had pants. So I like literally, you guys, I was not even like in the right state of mind. So tip, definitely pack your hospital bag early, because you know when this happens, it happens and you're panicking. Maybe you're cooler than I am, but initially that state of like shock, I think this might be happening, it's terrifying, okay? Because all you're thinking in your brain as a girl is like, dude, this thing's coming out of me and I got like, there's nothing else. Like, nothing else can happen. Like, it's go time. Like, you can't turn back, you can't turn away. It's not like, oh, I'm scared, oh, let me like swerve. No, like you can't get out of this one. Like, this is your new reality. So I was like, yeah, okay, this is like crazy. So we literally packed everything. Darian totally calmed me down. We went to the airport, we picked up my mom, and I was like, hey mom, literally like this. I think I might be in labor. And she was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Literally, she walked off the plane, you guys. It's like 8:30 at night, okay? She literally flew all the way here. And I was like, yeah, I like think so. And I was like, we'll just like see when we get home. And so her and Darian once again made me take the little contractions app out and like made me count all the contractions or whatever. And once again, it said go to the hospital. So Darian and I went to the hospital. I still don't know if I'm in labor or not. But I picked up my mom from the airport. We took her home, and Darian and I are just gonna go and check it out and see if this is real.
I'm so excited.
But yeah, we got to the hospital. We sat in the check-in area for seriously like 45 minutes. It took so long, and my cramps were getting worse. I guess I can call them contractions, but they seriously just felt like cramps. So they were like getting worse, getting a little bit more frequent, and I was kind of like, dude, like I'm trying to like play so cool, like, oh, this isn't happening. But in my brain is like, why are people moving faster? Like, what the heck? Why are you not rushing? Why are you not like, go, let's get this girl to the room? Like, nobody was hustling, everybody was taking their sweet time, and I was just like, I'm gonna stay cool, I'm gonna stay calm, things are okay, we chill, we Gucci, we a thug. Like, have you seen the Key and Peele episode of Proud Thug? How literally he's like shanked or like has like wood and he's like bleeding out and he's like, nah, I'm good. Literally, that was me. I was in pain and I was like, nah, we good, fam. Like, we are so good. So finally, they took me into triage, and literally we sat in triage forever. I'm so glad I got to hospital when I did. And a like nurse hooked me up, and they were like monitoring the baby's heartbeat, like monitoring my contractions.
How you feeling, Brett?
We're trying to be a thug in here, but I'm 5 centimeters dilated. All natural, by myself. So when you're in the triage room, that's when they decide like if they're gonna keep you or send you home. And once like they said that they were actually gonna admit me and I was like staying and like this was happening, I feel like something just clicked in my brain and I was like, okay, like we really are gonna be okay. And after that, like this huge wave of like calm just came over me and I was like, okay, I really am like calm and I really can do this. So, you know, this ends in one way, okay? We can either make this a very pleasant experience, or we can like be miserable and mope and like think this is an awful experience. And I was like, no. We're gonna try and enjoy this. So calm, cool Brit was, you know, fighting her way up there to be chill and calm during this labor. So we hung out for a while, and then they switched me to a labor and delivery room, which is like this huge room. A lot of my vlog footage is from it. Super cool. Yeah, I had to wait about an hour to get my epidural. They like have to give you a lot of fluids before you get an epidural, which I decided I wanted to get an epidural, which I also was pretty terrified to get, okay? Like every step of this process is terrifying. So I really just went into every single experience with like the most positive and upbeat and happy attitude, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like talking to the anesthesiologist. We were just talking as he's shoving that needle up my back. We're just chilling, and I'm trying to make it as calm as possible because let me say, it is way more enjoyable calm than freaking out. And yeah, after I got my epidural, things were even freaking better. And then I was real chill Brit because I had no pain and I was just freaking there. I was in it. I was like, let's freaking have this baby, you guys. Whoa! Alright, you guys, I'm hooked up to my epidural. We are just chilling. Doctor said to try and get some sleep, so we'll see if we can
Doctor's orders.
Snooze a little bit. Yeah, the anesthesiologist was pretty dope, so honestly the epidural didn't hurt at all. I was like kind of the most scared about that, but super chill. Things have been a breeze now, and once I was admitted, it's nice to know that like, oh, I was having contractions. Oh, like don't feel stupid for coming to the hospital. So now I'm starting to get excited, but we're gonna see if we can nap and I don't know, hang out, I guess. Love it. The anesthesiologist said, take a nap, just sleep. He was like, you know, it could take a while. I got my epidural like right at midnight. So we slept until like 3:30 a.m. and then my midwife came, she broke my water. And dude, it took forever, dude. She took this like crochet hook that's like this long. She's just like, meh, like in there trying to break my water. Literally didn't break forever, and then, you know, it happened and they're like, ah. And then they had me like turn to my left side because I guess my left side needed to thin a tiny bit more, and I was like squishing this like peanut ball on like my side. I was like, woohoo, yeah, whatever. And I was still like in and out of sleeping, and they like kept like coming to like check vitals and like ask how I was doing. So like, you know, you're kind of like taking little naps, and then, you know, they wake you up and stuff. But it was cool. Anyways, at about 4:30, my nurse comes back in and she's like, yep, you're to 10, let's go. And by the way, I freaking love my nurse. I love all of my nurses and like all the healthcare people. Like, I freaking love you from the bottom of my heart. They took such good care of me. I had such a fun time. I'm so grateful. Like, they were so sweet. But it's something that's very vulnerable and can be very scary. Like, everybody was so calm and comforting. And I don't know if that's because it was like the night shift crew, and like, we all know night shift nurses are where it's at. So they were just all super cool. My midwife was so dope. Another like fun little tip is when you go to your OB or whatever, a lot of the times like you won't get your exact doctor, you'll get somebody else that's on call. So I took the time to meet like all the doctors in my practice, so I knew the midwife that was delivering me. It wasn't my like doctor that I normally saw. She's so dope. Like, oh my gosh, she's just so cool. Like, I'm like, yeah, let's go. So anyways, it's like 4:30. My nurse is like, yeah, it's time, let's start with your practice pushes. So I'm like, you know, in the little stirrups, and Darian's holding one leg, and then, you know, my nurse is holding the other one. And you know, it took me a while to clue in that you're supposed to push during your contractions. So it like took me a little bit of the practice pushes. And then finally I was like, am I supposed to be pushing when I have the contractions? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh. So then I did like 3 pushes and he was like there. And, or I don't know how many exactly. Okay, I don't know if it was 3, but it just seemed like I literally, once I realized that I needed to push during my contractions, like it was so dang fast. And so like he was literally just chilling there, and like I could feel him, you guys. Like, it is the craziest feeling, or you're just like, oh, okay. So I asked for a mirror because I kind of wanted to see what's going on, because I had to wait for my midwife. She was delivering somebody else in the moment. So literally I'm just like chilling, got this baby right there. Literally I like reached down and like was touching his head and stuff. I know that sounds kind of weird, but yeah, that's what was happening. He had so much hair. And I asked for a mirror because I wanted to see what was going on. Eventually my midwife came back and I finished pushing, and for me I felt like it was easy, but I had an epidural, so I mean, it takes all of the pain away. So I was just like pushing along, and here comes the little dude, and I could literally like feel him as he was coming out. It is like the weirdest sensation ever, but kind of cool. Like, I don't know, it's so weird but cool. And apparently, like, when his head came out, he was fine, and then one of his shoulders, like, hit me, so I did get, like, a second degree tear. But yeah, I delivered this freaking child, and it's so weird when they, like, pull him up, and it's like, you literally, like, see him come out of you, and you're like, bro, like, what the heck? How are you in my, like, belly? It is, like, a miracle. I don't even know how to describe it until it's happened to you. It's, like, the weirdest, coolest, most fascinating, interesting, special experience ever. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, this is so cool. Like, that's what I keep saying, and I'm like, I'm so happy, this is so cool. Like, I'm so happy. Like, I thought I'd be crying and like, oh, my baby, oh, but I was like, this is so cool, I'm so happy. And I was like high off, like, I don't know what I was high off of, and I was just like so happy. And then they like put him right on my chest, and like I had a scrunchie on, and there was like blood on it, and I like, you know, I was like, yeah, this is my baby. And it was like the weirdest thing that I had a baby. Because I had an epidural, like, I didn't feel like anything really changed with me. So I was like still talking to the midwife. So midwife, I was like, did I like rip or anything down there? And I like asked if I like pooped and stuff. Like, I was just having a grand old time with like this baby on my chest, and Darian's like, yay. But yeah, dude, she was like stitching me up. It takes like, once you're in the labor and delivery room and you've like delivered, you're in there for about like 2 hours afterwards. Which is like a good to know, because people think like the second you have the baby, like family can come in, or like when you're in labor, family wants to be there. And I'm like, dude, it takes hours. Like, it's such a long process. I don't think you realize, like, after you give birth, then you deliver your placenta. And I was even like asking the midwife, I was like, dude, like, do I need to push to get the placenta out or whatever? And she's like, no, like, it's literally just gonna come out. So like, I don't know, the placenta came out, and yeah, I got to like see it. It's like a jellyfish thing, I don't know. Darian cut the cord. Yeah, I mean, it was cool. I mean, it is what it is, right? So I'm trying to think what else with the birth. But yeah, after that, midwife, she's just so dope, stitching me up, doing her thing down there. And Darian and I are like talking, hanging out with the baby, and the nurses are like, they're like so fun. They're like, can we take some pictures? And I'm like, heck yeah, take some pictures. Like, I want pictures. So they took like our pictures for us, and I just thought that was like so cool. And then what happened after that? After that, it's just kind of like, it happened, you know, you're just like chilling. My nurse, who's so dope, seriously, like I love her. She just like was like, hey, let's latch within like the first 30 minutes. So like I nursed Vincent, he like latched. He latched right away. I would say he latched right away. I don't know, the nurse just kept like shoving my poop in his mouth. She's like, come on, and I'm like, okay, like what are you doing? Like what do I need to know how to do? So anyways, it just worked out and it was cool, and I was actually like really proud. And you know, they were teaching me tips and tricks and stuff about breastfeeding, and I thought that was really dope because, you know, once again, that was another thing I was scared of. I was scared of the epidural, and that went okay. I was scared to push, and that went okay. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to breastfeed, and that went okay. So honestly, like, I know not everybody's religious, but to me, like, all my prayers were answered, and I was just so grateful to God because I was like praying that entire time. So I was like, thank you that like everything went okay. I was healthy, the baby was healthy, like everything was okay. So now, after he's been born and we've been chilling, pretty much how the rest of the day went, we stayed in that labor and delivery room, like I said, for about 2 hours after he was actually born. And at that time, the epidural's wearing off, and the nurses are so sweet. We had a different nurse because you know, their shifts change. So she like helped me get to the bathroom. She helped me use the bathroom for the first time, which is so tender to me. Like that literally she just like helped me walk over to the bathroom, or like literally I couldn't do it, you know, yourself. And she like wipes you and like sprays the water on you and helps you like clean up. And oh my gosh, there's so much blood, like what the heck. But yeah, it was just like so cool. Like seriously, that's one of my like favorite moments that I will always remember about like this whole birth experience, is like how sweet the nurses were to me, especially that one that helped me go to the bathroom the first time. Like, from the bottom of my heart, that was just like such a tender experience where I've never been like helped that way, where she was just so sweet and like, here we go, we're gonna, you know, clean you up. And then, you know, I got my little panties and my little pad, and it was just like so cool. And I had my little squirt bottle, and I don't know, it was just like a really cool experience. After that, we were then moved into our like postpartum unit, and we were in one room for a while that was tiny, and I'm so grateful that eventually they moved us up to a bigger room, which was so nice because that one had a bed for Darian to sleep in. So yeah, pretty much the rest of the day, like, people came, visitors came, family was coming. It was a lot. I was very tired. It's really exhausting having so many people constantly come in because they're doing tests on your baby. You want to take a nap, you have to feed, and like going to the bathroom takes a while just because you have so much self-care that you need to do. And I'll talk more about like postpartum and my body and everything in a separate video. I just kind of want to talk about the birth story. But yeah, my mom was a saving grace, kept bringing us meals and everything. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it was a great experience. And I think that's because I went in with the mindset of there's only one outcome. I'm going to try and enjoy this the best as I can. And I'm going to be as calm and as cool as I can. Cool Brett was out to play. Cool Brett got it done. And I'm so, like, literally, I'm so grateful that everything went okay and well. Like, not for a single day I take that for granted. So, who's ready to meet my baby? Little Vincent. And what's so funny is literally Vincent was one of the names that I had in the baby names I love but won't be using. His name was Milo for the first 2 hours of his life. And then we were like, nah, he's not a Milo, so we changed it to Vincent. Vincent, 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 Vincent. Did you wake up from a nap? I'm dying. Oh my gosh. Here he is. Oh, you see him stretch. Oh, that's a big stretch. Did you just wake up from a nap? Did you just wake up? Alright, you guys, we want to thank you so much for watching our video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And with that being said, we'll see you all in the next video. Bye! Say hi, baby. Say hi. Oh, are we handsome?